I was riding around the Homebush area today, and you'll never believe what I found in the Powells Creek area. Now this is in North Strathfield, or Concord West, just south of Bicentennial Park if you don't know the area. And obviously these signs were put in when the M4 tunnels were being built in this area. And I just had to stop and take a couple of photos of these things, because have a look at what we've got here. It's it's a yellow sign, it's made out of reflective material, and it's a reasonable size. Now, I do have a quibble here, it could be larger, but it's a pretty good start. And these things were obviously put up 1 or 2 years ago when the path had to be diverted from obviously due to the M4 construction. So let's just run through the signs that I found quickly. What do we see? Well, there's a pair here that are double-sided, and there was another one separately. And they're obviously a very simple design where they have separated the sign itself from the arrows. So that way it makes it much easier to just print the diversion signs. They can all just be run off in one batch, and then you print off some arrow signs as well and just mix and match them as appropriate, which is not a bad idea. They're not mounted too high above the ground, so they are in your line of sight. There's no need to put them 10 feet off the ground so they don't get hit by trucks and things like that. And it's not quite the same as the wayfinding guide signage, but it's pretty close and really can't complain. But I do think that the text is too small. You've got to get up quite close to them to read them, and obviously if you're cycling along at 20 or 25 kilometers an hour, it's very easy to miss that this is actually a diversion. This is why I think the signs could have been larger. They could have used the fingerboard design, but hey, what it does show is there's a precedent there. Someone on the M4 project has created these signs previously. Now, just at the end here, I thought I'd add in some examples of really poor design that's just around the corner as far as signage goes. And this is within Olympic Park or Bicentennial Park itself. A couple of things to note here. The fingerboards they've used are very slim, and therefore the text is really small. Now, I am about 3 meters from this sign, and I took my glasses off and I couldn't read any of it. The signage itself, just because it's white text on a grey background, the contrast is terrible. It's almost impossible to read. And on a gloomy day like today, where it was quite overcast and raining, you had to get up really, really close to be able to see what was going on. Even the yellow signage, okay, the yellow sign stands out, but again, the text is so small, it was almost impossible to read unless you stopped and got really close to it. Like I said, you needed to be within 3 meters to see it. So bad signage is rife. I guess if someone had actually tested this signage, they would have scrapped it and gone back and reprinted something else. But again, this comes down to the problem of people not testing their signage after it's being installed by someone who has nothing to do with the project to make sure it actually functions as it should.